Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. It is Thursday. Thursday means it's finally time to update that Jirai Gumo deck. So we had a viewer submission deck yesterday that featured Jirai Gumo, and it was played, unfortunately, in the most casual format, which I know a lot of you guys, being purists for the sport, do not like. So, not only was it requested by them, not only did I know that you guys would like to see it like this, but I also wanted to take it as a challenge, so I'm going to go ahead and build it for the advanced form in Speed Duel. So let's do this. We are going to retain the skill, so this will be one of our 3 1-ofs. And this is, again, beautiful because, again, we could choose to give our cards a plus 100 and every turn we can activate both of these. During the battle phase, when the opponent activates a trap card, we may negate it, reset it, and essentially walk through that one trap per battle phase. Next up, we need the main deck. And we got to start with the big bad bug, Jirai Gumo. So the only 4-star at 2200, which is fantastic, actually. The only real downside here is when it attacks, it's a 50% chance to lose 50% of your health. Now, knowing that, and knowing that cards like Cyber Dragon can be absolutely destroyed by this thing, is actually kind of funny. And we're leaning into the fact that the wording says when this card declares an attack. So watch, I got something for you. So again, Anonymous Duelist. Great pick about a monster, great pick about a skill. I loved both, I retained both. I'm going to trade out your Cyber Dragons here real quick. So yesterday, you had 2 Cyber Dragons in here. Today, I'm going to go with 2 Chiron the Mage. So it's going to keep our power ratings high in this deck. We are going to have 2 4-star 1800 Beast Warriors. And then once per turn, they can discard a spell card to target a spell trap the opponent controls and destroy that target. Now, that's it. I leaned heavily into spells this time. I do have a 10 monster count, so I think I lowered your deck by like 2. That allows me to have 2 extra spells or so, which actually does let me have more play with the Chiron. And the better part about Chiron than Breaker is the fact that there's no losing any power or losing our attack when we use the effect. So again, Breaker comes out, he gets his little counter. He's like, yay, I'm at 19. This guy's at 18 all the time. He doesn't drop to 16 later. So good stuff, great stuff. Second up, or third up, I suppose, I kept your Banishers. I do think the Banishers are really cool. Number 1, they look amazing. 2, they have a great effect of banishing everything that's going to the graveyard. So again, decks like Crystal Beast get hurt. Things like Uriah don't gain a bunch of hit points and stuff. There's a lot of cards that actually get hurt because this exists. And again, 1600 is not that weak. We are going to maintain your Drillroids as well because your Drillroids were a great play. I love them. This deck felt like it was absolutely tech. And again, just the fact that we can pop the card without damage calculation means if it's a face-down defense, it no flip. If it no flip, it no effect. And if no effect, is good day. So, last monster, I kept your Jinzo too. Because again, you're right. You're playing, I'm just going to attack. You are going to stop 1 trap per turn. But what happens when there's more than 1 trap? Chiron's not always going to be there to help us. Sometimes we're going to need the big J-boy. At which point we can go ahead, we can shut off all traps in the game. So, mostly. Spells. I went ahead and I only added back 2 of the books because obviously we're using the skill card. So this qualifies as our 1-of. Between the skill and these 2 books, that's our 3s. So we do not play any more limited cards at all in the whole build. No 2-ofs. Nothing really fit, to be honest. But the 2 Books of Moon are great because what they're going to do is we're going to be able to shut off effects that we don't want to see happen. So maybe we don't want to see that Breaker happen because we only have Banisher the Radiance out. Or we only have Chiron out. So we'd like to put him face down real quick. Or maybe they did a Cyber Dragon into something else, like a Breaker. And then we wait for the Breaker to go, Breaker breaks book. And it's like, oh, okay, so Chiron would normally be, open for the Cyber Dragon. Except you respond with book to Cyber Dragon. And then the entire turn's a push. Which also allows you to set up for Drillroid next turn. Chiron goes after Breaker. Drillroid takes the Cyber Dragon off the board. And again, you guys kind of see how it just synergizes together. Next up, we are playing a Galaxy Cyclone for 2 reasons. 1, its own effect. 2, we can pitch it with Chiron to get the effect we want. So let's say there's a face-up field spell, and all we had was Galaxy Cyclone in our hand with Chiron. Normally, you can only target a set spell trap on the field and destroy it. However, we could do this with Chiron's effect. Additionally, later on, you can banish this from the graveyard to target a face-up spell trap on the field and destroy it. Each effect is only once per turn, but you may not use that second effect on the same turn that this spell goes to the graveyard. So there has to be a turn of setup, which is why pairing this off with Chiron is great. Chiron lets you go for face-up or face-down, depending on you just activating its effect and loading the Cyclone to your discard pile. Or, again, like I said, if it's face-down, you just activate your spell. Now, this can play but negatively against ourselves because of Banisher of the Radiance, so do be aware of that negative interaction here. But on the most part, like, this is a great combination. Second, we're going to play 2 copies of Nightbeam. So, again, any face-down spell trap, any set spell trap the opponent controls, we can destroy without it being able to respond. Or we can use Chiron to hit a face-up. Perfect. And then we need something to keep our monsters around a little bit longer. We've already got the books. Let's talk shrinks. So the weakest monster in our main deck is tied with Drillroid and Banisher. These 2 cards are at 1,600. So if we were to shrink anything all the way up to 3,200, they're going to draw. You have to have at least 3,300 points on your monster card for the shrink not to KO your card. Okay, and the one instance where this is absolutely not going to work is like Obelisk. And I always bring him up, but like he can't be targeted. You're going to have to target a card. So like technically like Obelisk will steamroll you, but at the same time like you have other things to possibly get rid of him later. Which is basically like saying I need my opponent to destroy a back row. Next up, we did keep your Dust Tornado because I do like that. If you don't like the Dust Tornado in your main deck, that's fine. Swap it out for anything that you like. If you do, I would consider something like Lost Wind. It does allow you to stunt a monster's effects, as well as, especially if it's an effect monster, obviously. But it also lets you have that monster permanently. So that's pretty cool. And then I do board a Waking the Dragon in the main deck here. Because, again, even with Jinzo on board, Waking the Dragon still has the potential to activate because it'll activate when it's either destroyed, which means it's in the graveyard, or banished, which means it's out of play, which means it's not on the field, which means it activates around Jinzo's effect and allows us to get a big stompy boy to the field. So, yes. So, real quick, go ahead, take the screenshot or pause and make the notes, and I'll be back with the rest. And to start with my extra deck, since you already had my extra deck, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching a single card in there. This was good. Not just because it's what I always use, but like realistically. Collapse up your opponent's side of the field, big crush, bigger monster, has 3 effects based on how many opponents there are, has an optional pop, destroy, and burn effect, has a total stall effect on the opponent's side of the field. Like, sign me up. It really is one of the best extra decks that you can have right now. I think the only difference is like maybe the Blue Eyes slot. Maybe some players want a Ryo Senshi there, just for the optional trap negates, I think it is. Give me a second. He's sitting on the table. Let's just go ahead and pull my boy. So, when a normal trap is activated as a quick effect, you can pay 1,000 to negate that effect. So again, like he does have some play potential. It's really cool. Would I rather have things like Fiend Skull Dragon and stuff? Yeah, of course I would. But it's fine for right now. But this is an excellent lineup. But Blue Eyes is something that might get changed around. So if you're playing budget, Master of Oz makes a good point here. If you're not playing budget, Blue Eyes being the strongest. The Arcana card is like really good. The Arcana Knight Joker or something like that. It's the big fusion monster. He's a great option for his optional negates as well. Like, it's a very versatile spot and slot in this extra deck, but over the years of playing Speed Duel right now, like, this is my favorite thing to do, so I'm glad that we agreed. In your side deck, I did keep the Defusion. I thought that was kind of cool. I did only find enough space for one. I wanted to run it at 2, but you'll see why here in a moment. I also run 2 Lost Winds for the exact reason I just said. Target face-up special summon monster card on the field, negate its effects, and its original attack is halved. If the monster was special summoned and it's a normal monster, it would still have its effects negated because you still do as much as you can, because it doesn't actually say it has to be an effect monster. It's just sort of heavily implied, but it's not by ruling. If a monster would be special summoned from the opponent's extra deck, while this is in the graveyard, which may negatively interact with our Banisher of Radiance, except during the damage step, then we would be able to set this card from the discard pile and then banish it when it leaves the field again. So again, we can sometimes get 2 shots out of it, and if you wanted a second defusion, swap one of these. It's the easiest, cleanest swap. Next up, 2 Mind Crush. You guys know why I play Mind Crush. It's amazing. Play it, try it, give it a go. And then our second copy, Waking the Dragon, because again, the first is in the main, which is fun because while your opponent's aiming for your Book of Moon with their Night Beam and they hit the Waking the Dragon, then it's fine. You weren't going to activate it in response anyway. Its activation is after it's destroyed. So yes, go ahead and destroy it and allow me to gain one of these just big boys. Let me grab a big boy and put him on the field, right? So I do hope, my Duelist friend, that this is an acceptable upgrade. Everybody else out there, I hope that you enjoy this. This is a great, this was an inspired build. It was fun to do. It was a fun suggestion. And I can't wait to see some more pop up in my inbox. But for right now, if we've entertained you today, consider helping us out on the channel. Support can be found in many ways. The easiest ways are to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Again, maybe you haven't yet. Today's a good day for it. Additionally, maybe you want to help us get some more sleeves. I'll leave the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Again, no pressure. No need to do it if you can't afford it. Especially since I do come on here and provide this for nothing anyway. It really is just some good therapy for me. And then the one thing you absolutely have to do, okay? Look at me, look at me. You see me? Well, do you see my hand? Go out there, do something that you enjoy. Take 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes for yourself today, okay? Go do that. Do it because you're worth it. Do it because I've asked you to. Go and try to have a wonderful day. I don't care what it is that you need to go do that. Go to the store. Buy some special ingredients. Make that meal that you love so much. Go watch your favorite anime. Go watch your comfort TV show. Put on a favorite movie. Maybe, if it's not too warm tonight, a hot chocolate. Something. Either way, I want you guys to have a great day and hope to see you guys again next time. Later.